Hi, I am Gabby Debord, and Dr. Shibayama asked me to share my testimony on going from having spine surgery to winning a state championship. It started about 2 or 3 years ago whenever we found out I had two herniated discs. I think it was my L4 and L5. And we tried so many different things like acupuncture, physical therapy, and I've probably had about 10 steroid shots over the past few years. And it was all really just temporary or it just made it worse. And so I went to my doctor and told him I need a permanent solution. So the idea of spine surgery came up, and all he said he was going to do was shave down the discs that were herniated. So a surgery like that can be very scary, and it can seem kind of dangerous just because it's such like an important part of your body. But after a lot of prayer, I knew that that's just what God was leading me to do. And so I had surgery the week before my basketball season started, and it was really scary. It required a lot of trust in God, and it was really just a test of my faith in Him. And I even had a talk with my coach, and she told me about 6 weeks after my spine surgery that if I needed to take the whole season off to fully heal, that I could. And I told her no. I was like, I will be playing in that tournament. That's what I did. I would grind every single day. Whenever I wasn't allowed to do anything besides walk a mile a day at practice, I would walk a mile. And I was doing the best that I could to just be able to play the sport I love again. And I was really leaning on God and leaning on the people around me, and I don't think I could have done it without them. So me and my physical trainer set a date for me to be able to be playing in games again. And it was, I think, January 5th at BGA. We got to that day, and I had a workout that morning with my coaches, and I wasn't able to. And I was really devastated over that. But one thing that it taught me is that Jesus is patient, and my timing is not going to be the timing that He has set. And, I had to trust in His plan. And that's what I did. And I told my trainer, let's shoot for the next game. So my coach put me in the game, and I was diving for balls and everything, and I think I gave my parents a heart attack whenever I dove for the ball, because that was the first time I'd even fell on the ground since surgery. But it just came so naturally, and that was just a really good small win. And then I think it was the next game we were at Webb playing them, and I was only allowed to play, I think it was 7 minutes per game. That was what my physical trainer had set. And that next game, we accidentally doubled my time just because, you really do come back stronger. I had, a mental shift, and anytime in practice, I was like, oh, I'm tired, I don't want to run down the court again and keep practicing, or it's just, one of those days where you're tired and you just want to go home after school. I really did have a mental shift, and I'd be like, what a blessing it is to be able to move, to be able to jump, to be able to run. There's some people who can't do that at all, and I just couldn't temporarily. And it really just put into perspective, to be able to go from laying in a hospital bed wondering if you're going to play to being on a state championship game court and looking around at all the people in the stadium and just what a blessing it is to be here.